Well, this episode was, I guess, interesting. Episode 3 is the second episode directed by Robert Rodriguez. He directed the first episode of the Book of Boba Fett. Now he's directed the third episode of the Book of Boba Fett. And I said in my review of the first episode that I thought the action sequence looked like trash. It looked horrendous. Just really cheesy and terrible choreography. But we get a good little action sequence in this one that looks sick. I mentioned in my previous reviews that I'm tired of seeing him always take these naps for us to see sequences from the past. And they do the same thing in this episode. He takes another nappy nunu for us to see sequences from the past. But we get a little bit of a surprise in this one where he's woken up by Black Chrysanthemum, the Black Wookiee, who works for the Hutt twins. And he's trying to kill Boba. And they get a sick little action sequence between the two of them. I like it because Boba even pulls out the gaffy stick, the Tusken Raider's weapon. He pulls out the gaffy stick on him and starts stabbing that fool with it. He's doing work. It's a sick little action sequence. I like that one. I thought there was going to be a lot bigger of a battle between him and the Hutts. I thought it was going to be a bigger deal. It ended up being squashed and taken care of in this episode. There's really nothing more to it. I thought maybe Chrysanthemum would come and work for him. We might see that in the future. I have no idea. But that was all really short-lived. We just get a small little fight, and that was all. I thought it was going to be a bigger deal. It seems like the bigger enemy here is going to be the Pikes, so I'm excited to see how that works out. We don't get too much of the Tusken Raiders. We see that they get decimated and eliminated in this episode, which was kind of sad, but I feel like they could have made that moment a little bit sadder, but I think it's also portraying it through the eyes of Boba at the same time. Boba was sad, but at the same time, he's hardened, and he doesn't really let himself feel too much emotion. And that's kind of what we got out of that sequence when we viewed it. It was kind of sad, but we didn't feel too much emotion from it happening at the same time. He paid his respects, he burned their bodies, he burned their gaffy sticks, but at the same time, it looks like he's ready to move on. He's going to get revenge for them against the Nikto Sand Raiders. He's going to get some revenge, it looks like, and hopefully we see that. But for the most part, it looks like he's just ready to move on and take care of business moving forward. We get another little sequence from Robert Rodriguez in this. It's a chase scene. Boba Fett gets these, I guess, cyberpunks, for lack of a better word, to work for him. They were stealing water from a vendor, and he ends up getting them to work for him. They need jobs, and he gives them a job to work for him. It's a little gang of cyberpunks. They just, first of all, look way out of place. They don't look like they fit in the Star Wars world. They look like they're from Back to the Future. They're riding these little hover bikes that are each a different color, and it just looks whack. I feel like Robert Rodriguez did a terrible job of portraying these people. They look really, really cheesy, like what he did in episode 1. The chase sequence was really, really terrible and cheesy. It was so slow paced. It looked like they were going 5 miles an hour through the city. They're decimating the city, but it only looked like they're traveling 5 miles an hour. They're going like tortoise speed. It was really, really slow. It looked really, really cheesy and bullshit. I just didn't like it at all. It didn't look like a Robert Rodriguez production. It looked like crap again. Maybe Star Wars just isn't a good fit for Robert Rodriguez. It's just not working out too well for him. I don't know what it is exactly, but there are some moments that look really cool, like the Chrysanthemum fight, and there are some terrible moments, like in episode 1 and the chase sequence in episode 3 that we get. Just terrible. This looks horrendous. I give this episode a creme de la out of a creme de la creme rating. It was an okay episode. It wasn't the best episode, but there was a really cool action sequence in it, and there's one action sequence that was total shit. I was hoping it was going to be a lot better, but it was pretty good for what it was. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. I'm curious to know if you guys enjoyed this episode. How does it compare to the other episodes that we've seen prior? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more content and reviews. And I'll catch you on the next According to Ash.